Welcome, everybody. It is Sunday, February 26th. My, how time flies, 2023. And this is the Morgellons Call of the Week. I'm Robin, the co-host, and I'm very happy to be here this Sunday. So, Morgellons is such an insidious disease. Doctors don't understand it. Friends and relatives think we're nuts. It's isolating, it's discouraging, and it's a real challenge to find help. Well, if you're on this call, you've come to the right place. So this call is based on the book by Richard Kuhn's, How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons and Other Skin Parasites. He just recently released the 12th edition. In the book, there is this amazing diet that it helps people get their life back, and Richard found it over, I think it was like 2 or 3 years of trial and error. So he did all the hard work for us. And Richard Kuhn's, the author of the book, is also here. He's here to answer questions. He's here to support people. He responds to email, and he has been where we are. He has done all the hard work to get his life back from multiple things. So we are really grateful and lucky to have Richard with us. So thankful for this call and this community and the kind of support we give one another. And at this time, I would just like to welcome Richard Kuhn's, author of How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons and Other Skin Parasites.
Thank you, Robin. Wonderful to be here once again. Because I'm going to make recommendations and need to be in compliance with federal regulations, I will state them right now. The FDA requires that before you accept any of my recommendations in starting the Morgellons diet, aka the King diet, or accept any of our recommendations of supplements or use of any of our products, that you discuss them thoroughly with your doctor to make sure they do not interfere with any health problems you're presently experiencing. The AMA also suggests that because, well, they don't suggest, they say because we are not trained physicians, we have not passed their exams and are certified as a physician, therefore we do not diagnose, treat, cure, or mitigate any disease. We're here to educate you. And if you want to get your life back from Morgellons, unless you look out and find something that overnight works, which does happen from time to time for someone, it's like winning the instant lottery, and there are people who do win it, but for the most of us, it's not so simple, particularly for those of us who are more afflicted from the organisms. Yes, there are people who are dealing with Morgellons who are minimally impacted and they live with it every day. It is just a minor irritation or aggravation, and many of them even deny the possibility it has anything to do with Morgellons because, no big deal. Others of us, it drives us crazy with 24/7 itching and biting. It feels like it's coming from under the skin. Filaments and fibers that confuse us and create anxiety, lesions that don't heal. It's a nightmare. And every one of you on this call most likely is in that level of suffering and that level of being impacted. So, as far as I know, there are 4 important things to do to get your life back. And the analogy I have often used is like driving an automobile with not 1 clutch, but 4 clutches. All right? And you want to deal with all of them at the same time. Now, let's say the primary emphasis is on one of them. And then the other 3 you need to do along with that one important thing. So we have 4 things. We have diet, cleaning your skin, cleaning the environment, and building health and immune functioning. Those are 4 important things to do. So,
well, the first thing you want to start with is getting the book.
well, that's a good idea. But
Right.
of the 4 things in the book, where would I start?
The diet.
The diet, yes, absolutely, the diet.
And then I would do second the diet, the bathing, the environment, the laundry, and bedding protocols.
Right, and then build health and immune functioning. Sure, and they all got to get put close together, like almost simultaneously. You need to be doing all of them. Now, the diet. I have yet to find someone. I mean, I am sure that if you scour the Facebook and all the social media, you will find a ton of people who say, that diet doesn't work. I tried it, it doesn't work. All right. Well, I'll say to you that I have not had one person come on here who says the diet doesn't work and wasn't making a mistake. Yes, we've had many people come on and say, well, I've been doing the diet for weeks, for months, and I'm not any better. And when we take a few minutes to tear apart what they're consuming and what they're eating and what they're drinking and the supplements, we always find a mistake. So please, if you have difficulties with the diet, you're making a mistake. And once you make the diet work, how long does it take to make progress? Now, I know for you, it took a while. How long did it take you to make the diet work, Robin?
Well, I kept making silly mistakes. It took almost 2 months to make the diet work. Part of it was because I made, very easy to make mistakes, and the other part was I was super sensitive to things that should have been okay on the diet. Everyone is a little bit different, and you've got to figure it out and then make the diet work.
Right. So
once I figured it out, it was, at worst, it was a matter of days.
Right. Mary, how long did it take you to make the diet work?
It didn't take me, I would say, less than a week.
Oh, really?
I already knew a lot of my sensitivities. I already knew I couldn't have gluten, soy, and dairy. So I tried butter just to be sure, and they came after me full tilt, and it was easy for me to identify that it was butter because they already knew that I couldn't eat it. So.
Right. So there you go. Is Jan on? I don't think she's on yet. She's not on. Okay. Well, we have Mary. It took her a week to make the diet work. It took Robin 2 months to make the diet work. The diet can work even faster than that. The diet can literally work within hours. It's that effective, that fast, if you make no mistakes. And what what always stands in the way of the diet working is a mistake you made. Or you weren't keeping a diary, and there is something on the diet that is not good for your, good for you, but for most of us it is. For instance, there are people who cannot have coffee. Yeah. There are people who can't eat eggs. It'll cause parasitic activation. One lady has trouble having any kind of oil, whether it be animal fat or rice bran oil or anything. But these people discovered and made the diet work. And, oh God, can you imagine us one night sleeping through the night without being driven crazy with itching and biting at 3 o'clock in the morning or some other ungodly time of night? I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. I mean, if you come on this program and you listen to all the people, and we have so many testimonials of people who have gone through what Robin has gone through, it's taken them up to 2 months or even longer to make the diet work, and then leave and not make the diet work, your brain's not working right. Your brain isn't working. Well, who would want to suffer? Again, I have yet to find one person who has said the diet doesn't work, that we can't figure out the mistakes they're making. I mean, one little tic-tac breath mint and you're off the diet. It's that critical. You get the wrong brand of stevia and you're off the diet. You use the wrong brand of table salt and you're off the diet. There are so many silly, simple mistakes. You buy something and don't read the ingredients, and it has some soy in it, and you're off the diet. You know, the good news is there are 3 stages to the diet. Stage 1 is very critical. I mean, it is critical. Imagine you're on a fence, 6 feet high and 1/4 of an inch wide. It's so easy to fall off. But you got to know that you fell off so you can get back on. And then you go to stage 2, and the fence gets wider and wider. And eventually, you get to stage 3, where I've been for years. And you can eat anything you want. So, yes, it's restrictive, but for a limited period of time. All right, we're going to turn open the phones now. There are people who have got questions about how to make the diet work and other aspects of it. So this is a general free-for-all, an opportunity for you to ask questions about how to make this program work. Okay, who's first, Chris?
Hi, Richard. I was diagnosed with Morgellons by an ND in 2014. I was treated with Argentine 23, which is colloidal silver, IVs, and orally for about a month.
Okay. No, that's interesting. There are many people who have gained benefit from colloidal silver. In fact, there used to be a company called Nutrisilver, and they promised you that if you had Morgellons, you would have dramatic improvement. And yes, it does work for some people, and not for everybody. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we each have it to differing degrees, and there are different cofactors that 2 weeks ago we talked about, the cofactors. So some people do luck out and gain results from colloidal silver. In fact, we do have it in the store if anybody wants to use it or try it. I think that it's a pig in a poke, and generally, once you are on it, if you go off of it, there's going to be a resurgence of the organism. So it's something that you need to do forever and ever. Personally, I prefer the other approaches that we have. Okay, continue with her question, or?
Yeah, she said that she had improvement of all her symptoms and her skin was fine and there was no itching, but also that she had Lyme disease, which is under control. She said she had a live blood cell test last week and saw a Morgellons fiber in a drop of blood. She said, I did not take the jab, and this looks like Morgellons and not what was in the jab.
Yeah, I'm not sure what she's saying. I'm not sure what she's saying there about that, but Lyme disease being under control, okay, that's good. And the Morgellons fiber, I don't know how she actually observed that, because to see her drop of blood, you need to have a microscopic, a slide prepared and to actually look at it. So I don't know, what she's saying, if there's any validity to that, but continue.
Yeah, she's also saying her Morgellons under control, but then she saw it in her blood, so I don't know. Since the COVID pandemic, I have felt parasite movement in my calves at night, especially near the full moon. Taking natural antiparasitics, and I know when I kill one off as my blood pressure goes up, and then I have to do extra detox to remove the toxins that were in the parasite.
Yeah, this is kind of, helter-skelter. She's, I guess, figured out some things that she can do to kind of manage her symptoms. There's no mention here about her if she's being on the diet. She's talking about movement in her legs. That would not be Morgellons. That would be something else. Who knows what? It could be anything from her imagination to an actual type of organism there. It could be a nematode of some sort in her legs, in the dermis of her legs. In which case she would benefit by doing something like fenbendazole to do that, not colloidal silver, definitely. And then the real question. I mean, all this is leading up to the question, and that is.
Yeah, I don't understand the question anymore. I understand most of this email. But she says, do you think EDTA IVs would get rid of the fibers in my blood, or can you recommend something else? Thanks, Becky.
EDTA is an approach used by some natural physicians, and it's a series of intravenous treatments over the course of several weeks, maybe 20 weeks or so, once or twice a week, in which case they run this solution through your circulatory system, EDTA. I'm not sure exactly what the words stand for, but it's a cleansing mechanism. Detox is the goal. And hey, my answer to that is boost glutathione. EDTA does nothing to supplement or help your body. It is just a chemical to get rid of toxins in your body. Boosting glutathione is far more beneficial because it not only detoxes, it also protects your DNA, and it's the body's major anti-inflammatory. So there are so many other benefits to boosting glutathione versus doing something like EDTA. Okay, Chris, you got somebody?
I'm looking at your diet right now. I find it a little confusing. But,
okay, let's help you out.
Well, there's so many new products on the market. I don't eat meat and I don't eat dairy, although I found sheep milk. Costco has sheep milk feta cheese, which is really, really good.
Well, that would be stage 2. That would be stage 2. That would be stage 2 of the diet.
Okay. I'm just not sure. I haven't eaten it here for a while, but I'm just not sure what's in there. But I want to sit here and look at my a lot of these things I don't know. Like it says chocolate only processed with alkali, not with
If you read labels, you'll know, because if it isn't with alkali, it won't say alkali. If it is, it says it.
Yeah, you're still very loud.
It's not rocket science. You just have to read every label.
Well,
Robin,
they don't say stuff like that on the packaging. I get this OWIN protein supplement, and I'm not looking at the chocolate bottle right now. I'm looking at the vanilla. But I looked at the chocolate bottle to see what's
it say?
Made with, and it just says organic.
Organic what?
It just says chocolate.
Organic chocolate?
It's not made with alkali.
Yes, so I don't know, by the labeling, they don't say stuff like that. This is what
No, they do if it's made, but if it's made with alkali, it will say it. If it's not, it doesn't say anything. It doesn't say not made with alkali. It just says chocolate.
It just says everything's organic. That's what it says.
Yeah, but that's
so then I would maybe stay away from that, and because there's a big question mark as to whether or not. Or you can always test it. You're not going to start necessarily eating chocolate right away. It's something you might add to your diet later on, and then test it.
Okay. And I have a big bag of raw cacao powder that I bought at Costco.
What is it?
A month or so ago. I'm not at home to look at it. I'm not there, so I can't look at it. But raw cacao.
Raw cacao. What is that?
It's cocoa powder. It's just that
cocoa powder.
It's like it's like in its original form.
Okay, that should be fine. Unprocessed cocoa powder, that should be fine. But again, when you see it, read the ingredients to make sure.
So unrefined cocoa powder was not fine for me unless it was made with alkali.
Really?
I
Okay.
had a severe reaction to it. So just because it's organic or unrefined or whatever, you still have to, I have never had a success with anything except cocoa with alkali, and even that I can't have a lot of, and you just need to read labels. It's pretty
Well,
clear.
yeah, I read labels all the time, and I
and
just
if it
find that
doesn't
they
say
don't
alkali, that
give
means
you-
it's not made with alkali. If you don't
Okay.
see alkali in the label, it means it's not made with it.
Well, I like calling the companies and asking them. If you get
Well,
someone
you
on
can
the
do
line,
that, but I'm just saying, if it's made with alkali, they'll list it on the label.
Well, the good news is if you go in our store, our products are made with alkali and compatible with the diet. So
That's right.
there's an out. And you can keep your chocolates and whatever you have and your vitamins that you already have, and just put them up on the shelf. Because like I say, it takes at most making the diet work could take as minimal as several days. And once you make it work, you can maybe get to stage 2 within 2 or 3 weeks, maybe quicker. And then when you get the middle of stage 2 and you get feeling comfortable and feel like, hey, you forgot what it feels like to have parasites, then you can start adding these supplements and these things back in and see how you react. Any other questions, Wendy?
Well, yeah, let's see if I have to look at this.
Well, you have the list, so you need to go down the list. And everybody starting the diet, this is important to do. You need to take a look at everything you have in your refrigerator and your cabinets, all your foods, and check all the ingredients if they're listed against what's in and not on the diet. So that's homework. If you have a question, you can come on the program and ask a specific question about some specific type of food. Now, that's your homework. Okay, any other questions about the diet in general?
Well, there are lots of teas. I drink a lot of tea, and I buy I go to the store that sells the teas imported from India, for making chai.
Well, again, you need to check ingredients, because you can go to a tea house and most of the teas are not going to be compatible and they're not going to know what's in them. Again, we have the teas in the store. We have about 6 teas in the store, and it'll tell you whether it's stage 1 or stage 2. We've got peppermint tea, we got cistus tea, we have chamomile, robust tea. We have, a good selection of teas in the store that are compatible.
Well, I have to have my protein because I don't eat dairy other than the sheep milk feta. I've been lactose intolerant all my life, so
Okay.
I don't eat any milk products, not cow's milk anyway.
Fish? Do you consume fish, chicken?
No, not at all.
No fish, no
I've
chicken?
been vegetarian. No. I've been vegetarian or vegan since 1971.
All right.
Not eating anything that
that is commendable. Now, some people find that if they soak their beans in water overnight, they can have beans as a source of protein.
Okay.
Some rice, which rice is it that is high in protein? Basmati? Which one is it? Do you remember, Robin?
Brown rice has the highest protein content.
Right. So you can get your protein that way. Soak the beans overnight, and the brown rice, research it.
If you can tolerate wheat berries and soak them, brown rice combined with wheat berries makes a complete protein.
Okay, well, I don't eat wheat. I avoid wheat. It's good.
Well, wheat berries metabolize a little bit different than regular wheat. Just like spelt flour metabolize, any sprouted grain metabolizes different than just wheat.
And again, I don't know why you choose to be vegan. I mean, some people choose to be vegan primarily because their foods that you consume are anti-inflammatory, but that's what boosting glutathione is all about. So for some people, it comes down to making a choice. Which is more important, staying vegan or getting your life back and then getting back to being vegan? So that is a personal choice that you'll have to look at and weigh which is more important. Dealing with the itching and biting, or for a period of time, adjusting your diet to get rid of the organisms and then shift back to your diet.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's I've been doing it for a lot of years, and when you start switching over to meat or meat products or anything like that, it just makes you sick. It's just because my body's not used to eating that stuff, and it doesn't taste good.
Well, again, that's a personal choice you have to make. It's not. I'm not here to figure that out for you. That's for you to figure out. All I can say is that there are foods that feed them, and there are foods that do not feed them. So, are you don't have eggs either? You know eggs?
Well, I eat eggs as
All
long
right.
as they are organic and fresh.
That's fine. That's a source of protein. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's important. Now, nobody needs my diet. You could do what I did. Start with just one food. And, you have the diet, King diet. You have all the foods that you can have on that. Just pick out one that looks good to you, that you can have, and eat that food, nothing else but that food. And within days, the symptoms will disappear. Then add in some other food and do what I did, day by day, to discover what works for you. Make your own diet. The point is, make the diet work. It doesn't have to be the diet I publish, but make the diet, anti-parasitic diet, work. That's the goal. Okay. Thank you, Wendy. Keep coming back. We're here to support you. Who's next, Chris?
Yeah, I have a quick question about foot baths. There are folks that benefit, detoxing with the ionic foot bath devices. And I always feel better because I know from one's feet, one can detox, depending upon the severity, I guess, of a person's immune system.
Well, okay. A way of incorporating that with the program that we have is you could do your foot baths with a Nature's Gift, an apple cider vinegar, or whatever you choose. And if you're using our ionic minerals, the ionic minerals that come in the sachet, you can throw the sachet into your foot bath after you've used it and drank it. Used it in your water for drinking. Then it's what we call spent. It's been used, and then you have that sachet, and you can put that sachet in your foot bath, and it will detox you.
Oh, okay. So that would, in other words, with the apple cider vinegar and the Nature's Gift debriding soap and the sachet.
Right.
Can you use the sachet more than one time, or in a foot bath, or how does that?
I think you're only going to get one out of it because it's just going to. If you have no toxins, you could use it over and over and over. But if you're dealing, it's going to extract toxins, and it's going to become mushy. So after you use it, and when you put it in the foot bath, it's going to feel sandy when you feel it, okay? And after you take it out of the foot bath, it's done its work, it's going to be mushy. So if it's mushy, you wouldn't use it again because it's already been, it's already
right,
taken.
so it's a matter of, what happens afterward. I got it. Okay. Yeah, I was just curious because there are, many folks that are, really benefiting from the ionic foot baths, and of course, then you have to have the space and you have to plug that in and whatever. So I'm just trying to, find the best solution. This is helpful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Before the recording started, Robin was talking about people finding things. They find enzymes, they find herbs on Facebook or whatever, or peroxide. She mentioned somebody said peroxide, and yet If you go in the book, you'll find most of this already in the book. And when it comes to herbs and enzymes, if you go in the store and you read our products, you'll find most likely any herb or enzyme that's ever been published that's beneficial in dealing and building your health and dealing with Morgellons already there. You know, I've already done the research. Okay, who's next?
I was slow at getting things right, and however, I want to say you are so correct, because, you know, just little things like Robin was saying have made a total difference. I'm on the lufenuron now, and that seems to be helping, along with the really helping. At first I thought, well, it was getting worse the first few weeks. Does that happen?
Yes.
It like comes out of your body crazy.
Yes, in fact, maybe about 5 or 6 weeks ago, we had, what was her name? She was on the, you were coaching her. Well, anyway, we interviewed her, and she shared that after she started lufenuron, for the first 30 days, her face broke out. She thought she had the worst case of acne she could ever imagine, and she just pushed through, and all that cleared up. And, you know, now lufenuron isn't the only thing she did, but it was instrumental in getting her life back.
Oh, okay. Well, that's it. I do the next one. I do the Parasite stuff, and I do your multi-mineral, and I'm fixing to order the sachet, and of course I do the bleeding soap, and it worked, by the way, on my hands. I've had a whole lot better results with everything since I soaked my hands a little bit in it. So thank you for that. Also, with the lufenuron, I can only take 4 weeks, they said, because of my weight being around 96 to 98. So this is the 4th week, so maybe another week or so. But I can tell a difference. Things are like fading away, clearing up where there were lesions, like around my ear and things like that. They're going away. So what my question is, since I did, well, 2 questions. I had the when I first did not know about you and went to the homeopathic type doctor, she did tell me that I had Morgellons and the tapeworms, because the cat that scratched me did have tapeworms and Morgellons. I had not mentioned it to her, but she saw it in my testing. But however, they put you on the wrong protocol because they don't know, you know, like you said. But do you think I would benefit safely to add the Fenben for that, or just stay with the lufenuron?
I recommend basically everybody deal with intestinal parasites. Assume you have them. Number 1, you do the diatomaceous earth food grade. You consume that at least twice a day. There is an accelerated program that you can do with the diatomaceous earth. You consume, if you're using the mouthwash, you consume the mouthwash after you use it in your mouth to clean your mouth. You consume it, and then do fenbenzidol as well. Fenbenzidol over the course of perhaps 6 months or better.
Okay, to get rid of these worms, because the tapeworm definitely is visible.
The fenbenzidol is not a dewormer dosage. The fenbenzidol is used differently than ivermectin, which is a dewormer dosage. The fenbenzidol is used over time. It cuts off the ability of the organisms to use their tubules to extract food from your intestines or wherever they're getting their food source. Now, as far as tapeworms, I don't remember the precise medication, but it's listed in the book, and I don't know what type of tapeworm it is, but there may be a different medication required to deal with specific tapeworms.
Well, Fenben lists it as one of the things it goes after, so that's why I was asking.
Yeah, but there is one tapeworm that I think Paraxil is the medication, I believe, or something of that nature. You wanted to say something, Robin?
Yeah, my son had a tapeworm when he was young, and I don't know which kind it was, but the doctor found it. He gave him the specific medicine for it, and my son was better within 4 days.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
I may be mistaken.
Go to a doctor and get the right medicine.
Yeah, you got to get the right. Make sure you're if that's the one specific tapeworm you want to deal with it. I mean, Nancy at shopformorgellons.com might be able to help you direct you to the right.
I don't know then if I have a tapeworm because I just have these little things that come out on the lips. Is that not
No,
a
that's not a tapeworm. A tapeworm
okay,
can grow. A tapeworm can grow 30 feet long.
I have the Morgellons and the other thing that you named, Collembola.
You you don't want to self.
Okay, that's not it. That's from something then coming out probably from the lufenuron. That's because all of a sudden that started when I started on it. But I am better. And I am really working on making the diet work. And so the only thing that came up at the doctor, and they think you're crazy anyway, so I don't ask them a thing because I'm looking for a new doctor, but I haven't found any doctor that you can talk to about this. And but anyway, they only had me fast about 5 hours, and I had bacon and eggs and butter and spelt toast. So the only thing that came up, my blood pressure is perfectly normal. My weights come up to, I go between 96 and 99, so I'm close to 100 again, which 105 is good for me. And but the only thing that was not good was my HDL. My LDL was 158, and it should be about 130. So I'm thinking maybe even though it's clean bacon, maybe I'm doing too much fat because I'm doing the pure chocolate, and that has fat, and I'm doing the bacon and lots of butter to fatten up. So what could I do instead of too much fat, or what could I do that would help that number?
Are you taking Max 1? Are you boosting the glutathione?
Yes, I have the Max 1. I'm taking one a day. Should I up it? It's expensive, I know, but
go to 2 a day if at all you can. What you might do is get the other one, the NAC, and do 1 Max 1. I mean, if funds are an issue, and for many of us funds are an issue, you could do 1 Max 1 and 1 of the NAC, 1 in the morning.
What is the NAC?
N-acetylcysteine. It's also in the store. It's about $15 compared to Max 1, which is like $75.
Okay, so I can order the NAC then.
Yeah.
With that. Right. Yeah, I've got the Max 1 from you, so I'll do that. Okay. The other, I know this is in your book. I saw it. I cannot find the answer to save my life, but I started, for some reason, I remember we were talking about it a few months back, a teaspoon of pure baking soda once, maybe twice a day. What is that benefit of doing that?
Well, that's sodium bicarbonate, and the bottom line is there are people who believe that the sodium bicarbonate, it's an alkalizer, it's basic. The idea, many think that it raises your pH. Your pH, bacteria and parasitic organisms do not like a basic environment. They like an acidic environment, but that's not really the benefit. In fact, if you really research it, it's not practical to change the pH of your body. But what it does is it reduces the acidic stresses on your body. So in a sense, it reduces. And now, more recently, if you watch the updates with this train accident in Ohio and the release of all these dioxins as a result of the polyvinyl. I published a thing that claims, that says that bicarbonate is a way of neutralizing dioxins. And particularly, I mean, the winds from that disaster are coming to, it's like the Chernobyl of the Midwest, and the winds of that disaster are coming east to all of us. So all of us should be boosting, having a teaspoon of bicarbonate at least once a day. Add it add a little bit to your coffee or whatever. So
I can drink it with pure water.
you can drink it with pure water. You can put in the diatomaceous. You can add the diatomaceous earth in as well. And if you have,
can you put, like the diatomaceous earth I have, so that's digestible. It's okay.
Yeah, it's food grade diatomaceous earth. It's used for cleansing the intestines of parasites. It also gets absorbed into the bloodstream and helps out to some degree in cleansing your bloodstream as well.
Okay. Well,
you can make
something new every single week of this.
You can make a cocktail of diatomaceous earth, baking soda, and if you're concerned about keeping your skin young, add in the collagen that we have. It's 5 types of collagen, and stir that all up, and do that.
And drink that.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to order that and the collagen and the NAC then. And one question, and I'll let you go. The sweet leaf, people sent me the wrong sweet leaf, I believe, but it says organic, but it says just stevia, and then it has inulin and silica. What is that?
Inulin? Well, inulin. Yeah. Inulin is a kind of like a filler, and it depends on how it's made or what the source is. And they never tell you what the source is. If the source is from soy, that's a problem, but they don't tell you what the source is. So it could be okay, it might not be okay. It depends on how the inulin is made. Yes, Rob.
Okay. So, all right.
Chitonaise is a brand, and it usually has sugars in it. And just because something says it's organic doesn't mean it's got any.
Right, I know that. That's why I asked him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I usually order that one, Robin, that we order, but I am a sweet tooth nut. That was my past when I was overweight in my younger years. That's why I became a dietitian. But it doesn't give me enough in the packet. I want more to put on my.
Well,
but it is sweet.
Get it from our store. We have the stevia in our store, which is completely compatible. We have 3 stevias. The one has inulin in it, which is a bigger bottle, and I wouldn't order that if you're on stage 1. The other one has liquid. It's got alcohol in it, and I wouldn't order that if you're on stage 1. So order the other one.
But with those packets, use 3 instead of 1. Is that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and our stevia doesn't come in packets. It comes in a little bottle, and you can use a little tiny
What is
spoon.
the best one? You said the one without the alcohol then to start with?
Yeah, the powdered one without the alcohol, and that's the big.
Okay.
I think it's sweet leaf, but it is only stevia. It has nothing else in it.
Okay. I didn't eat the bun or the bacon this time. I ordered a burger cooked with nothing, just on the grill, and extra onions with just fresh onions and fresh tomatoes, and came home and ate it yesterday, and I'm absolutely fine. I was so happy.
That's fantastic. That's what I always
okay,
do.
Well, thank you, Richard.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I just want to say one other thing. If people are only reading the diet and the downloadable book, it doesn't have all the appendixes that have all the ingredients that you shouldn't have, like in vitamins and stuff. So they can reach out to you, and you will email them the appendix.
Yeah, the updated diet I published a couple of weeks ago has been expanded. It has everything.
Oh, okay.
So, and you can load it onto your phone. So if you don't have the most recent version of the diet, which was just published about a week ago, you missed that email, just email me and I'll send it to you. Okay, who's next?
I did in the beginning take lufenuron, and I'm taking the enzyme, and I take about 1 or 2 a day, and kind of what I've been doing is after I get home from work, take it without food, and then wherever I might have any swelling, when I take my bath, I kind of clean that area, and I feel like gradually there's less swelling and cleaning of my skin. And then Robin's helped me with the diet, fixing some things I misunderstood. And so there's less coming out when I'm cleaning my skin now. I do notice that in the shower when I do the mineral bar, the Nature's Gift, little pieces of skin also come out. Is that considered biofilm or fibrin? It's not necessarily an organism. I see that a lot.
Who knows? It's whatever it is. It's probably dead, and you don't want it in your skin, and you want to get rid of it. So we don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's not all organisms coming out, but it's from like the places where I've had, some arthritic type, swelling and bone pain, and that's like decreasing.
Yeah, so that should decrease dramatically if you're boosting your glutathione.
Yeah, I take 2 or sometimes lately 3 a day. But one question I had is I also was taking for like the detox or the die-off problem, the digestive enzymes and the amino acids.
Right.
I don't take that much. I feel like maybe I'm not needing it as much. Is that something maybe I could switch to this calcium dicyclone?
If you're starting something new, then you want to maybe keep taking it in case there is die-off. Or you can always, have it in reserve, and if you start noticing die-off, then go switch immediately to that. So you have to figure out how to make it work best for you.
Okay, so for this calcium what does it do? Does the chitoenzyme act the same as lufenuron, and what is the other product that goes with it?
Well, the calcium Deyclex is basically undecleic acid, which inhibits the production of the hyphae, which is like the analogy is to ordinary plants have roots. Roots go into the soil and extract nutrients. The hyphae are like the root of the fungal organisms that go into the nutrient source and extract the nutrients for the fruit of the organism to thrive.
Okay, so this fights the yeast and the fungal organisms and kills those?
Well, it inhibits the production of them, so it doesn't kill the existing ones. It inhibits the chitonaise enzymes. Assimilate the existing ones. Now, when I say assimilate, that's like chew up. So the chitonaise enzymes, because all fungal organisms are comprised of chitin, and the enzymes are little guys, they're like little Pac-Mans that go through your body, and whenever they find chitin, they chew it up, gobble it up.
Okay, that's a good analogy. And then, is this something that helps with Lyme also? These products. Well,
I can't say that this is a cure for Lyme disease, but based on my experience and apparently many other people, because the research indicates that's done by Middleveen and Strickler. The pilot studies they have indicate that 90% of the people on their pilot study of about 10 or 12 people have Lyme disease. And Lyme disease, when you're using our supplements and boosting the glutathione and the garcillin, can become a non-factor. But it's not a cure. I suggest that anybody dealing with Lyme disease, you first start with the basic supplement package that we have. The multiple vitamin that has been designed by a doctor in the UK to deal with Lyme disease. So it's specifically designed for Lyme disease. The minerals, unfortunately, we're out of the sachets right now and have trouble getting them in for a month. Hopefully we'll get them soon. But at least you need to have minerals, so you need vitamins, you need the minerals, boost your glutathione, and use the natural antibiotic with garcillin. And you may not need any treatment for Lyme disease.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I am doing the Life Pack, and that was another question. I did find the EcoSafe, the powder form of these sachets that you add to your drinks. I did get some of that just in case. Well, I'm running out of the sackets, so just to keep that going. Is that? I guess that's okay. It's got.
I'm not at all familiar with the product. You can send me a picture of the ingredients, and I'll be glad to take a look at it.
It looks like it has everything except that vitamin C that's in the little sachets. But
no, the sachets don't have any vitamin C. The Max 1 has 300 milligrams of vitamin C, and the Garcillin also has 300 milligrams of vitamin C. But the sachets have no vitamins. They're all minerals.
Okay.
Yeah, send me a picture of what you're taking. It may be something that I might put in the store for when we run out of the sachets.
Yeah, well, hopefully it'll help. I just really love these minerals and didn't want to be without it. And it rained a lot lately, and our weather's up and down and all over the place. We have 2 days of spring and then winter. And when I pulled the garage up underneath where it was wet, there were a lot of these little gray insects, and they have a lot of legs. And then when I sprayed them I started with the fungicide, they kind of did hop a little bit, not a lot. I had to spray them with that, and then the ammonia, and then finally, they with the clean them up Enzymes, they started to kind of quit moving around. I wondered if could that describe springtails?
No, springtails are basically invisible to most of our naked eyes. The gal we had on, who was a guest a few weeks ago, had 2016 vision. She could actually see them, but most of us, you're very lucky to actually see one. They blend in with whatever they are on. They look like a piece of dust. So unless they're actually standing up on something, they're hard to see. If they're lying down, and then they're basically invisible. So they're only 250 to 300 microns in length.
Okay, you said there were a lot of different species of them. So
well, there are 6,000 species, but only 19 of them are recognized as being a problem with mankind.
And so she was, the other lady was talking about how she was trying to gain weight, because I went from a size 12, 13 to a 6. And I was going to get more chocolate from your store that had the cocoa butter, now that I know the chocolate is going to work for me. And you said, like eating the fat off the chicken. Is there anything else that I can do at this point while trying to make sure stage 1 sticks with that?
Yeah, what I always did is I bulked up on rice pasta. I'd get the spinach pasta, the green pasta, but it could be rice pasta. And I got turkey meat and made meatballs out of it. Not the white turkey meat, but and I would make my own tomato sauce, or there is one brand, I think it's Chitonaise brand, that has no ingredients in it that are a problem, but that's what I did to bulk up. But consuming fat, consuming animal fat, fried, that's good. Oils, rice bran oil in your salad.
So rice bran oil will help, because I just ordered rice bran oil.
Oh yeah, I'd put it in your salads. That's good. Fat, it's fat. It's going to help bulk up. Calories.
I do.
Okay.
And then I just lost my train of thought on. The spelt. I've just tried that recently and made some biscuits with it this morning. If you feel any wiggling, stinging, or any itching at all, is that considered,
Yeah, within 20 minutes. If you feel any activity within 20 minutes to maybe a half hour, that's a pretty good indication that, well, you're not ready for that spelt yet.
set it aside until stage 2.
Yeah.
Probably. Okay. And then I one other thing about the eye problem that I've been having, and I've been following Robin's instructions, and I had those eye drops for the eyes and the ears that you had put in an article, or another lady had, and then the Ovante eyelid wipes, and I've been trying to clean my scalp and my skin, which is getting better, but I had a blood vessel burst and went to the eye doctor, and he feels like me and everybody else supposedly that comes into his office has like this dry eye syndrome. And he said my oil ducts were all clogged, and suggested this special foam type shampoo for your eyes in the shower, and different kinds of eye drops, and this heating pad that you put on your eyes for 10 minutes every day to heat the oils up. I've been doing that. He didn't like the colloidal silver drops, but I'm still doing those because, like, you can't talk to them about fibers and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is there anything else that I could do, to help my eyes heal, to keep them healthier?
Yeah, Robin, do you want to weigh in on that?
As you get older, everyone suffers from dry eyes, and what the doctor has recommended to you is not going to hurt. It's not going to kill parasites. And the colloidal silver, which you carry, is a great one in your store, by the way, will get them totally out of your eyes if you do it every 15 to 20 minutes with an eye wash cup. It takes about 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
Are you talking?
If you don't get your
silver in the cup?
There's a good chance they'll come back. You get a little glass eye wash cup. You put 100% colloidal silver in it, and you just rinse your eyes and wipe them every 20 minutes.
Yeah, you start with high frequency every 15 to 20 minutes, and then that's going to stretch out to maybe once an hour, and then once every few hours, then maybe 5 or 6 times a day, then once for 2.
20 minutes for 3 days, every 20 minutes for 3 days.
There you have it. You can be very aggressive. It depends on what you need to do to get your eyes back.
If it gets better, you can get to twice a day. You can go to once a day for maintenance, but initially I recommend if you're getting like burst blood vessels in your eyes, go to 20 minutes.
Very aggressive. Okay, great. Okay. Thank you, Laura. Keep coming back. We're here to support you. So you've been in the program how long now? How many months?
Since the end of October.
And how would you describe the results?
Well, I'm definitely getting better. I mean, definitely parts of my life are coming back. I've made mistakes with the diet, but the last couple of weeks, that's getting better. I feel like it's just a process. Like Robin had said, a journey, and so I feel like I'm on a journey, and I just have to keep working at it. But I feel like I'm getting healthier on the inside. My energy level's going up. I just have to keep at it. That's kind of how I'm looking at it.
Yes, it is a journey. That's a good way of putting it. It's a journey nobody wants, but the end result is good. And most people, when they get to the end of the journey, they do tell me they're healthier at the end of the journey than they were before they had parasites or any problems with parasites. So thank you. Keep coming back. We're here to support you. And
thank you.
Perhaps one day you'll be one of our coaches.
Maybe if God's willing and I could retire early.
So. Well, I guarantee you he's willing, and you don't necessarily have to retire to be a coach. I mean, just a couple hours a week, and that would be very wonderful. Thank you, Laura. Okay, who's next?
My question is as such. What feels and looks like a splinter and seems to have a hole on both ends. Sizes can vary on these splinter-like things, generally about 1/4 of an inch. And if bothers can cause a world of pain. And if bothers can cause a world of pain, also close the wound if disturbed. What is this type of thing called, and where does it start or come from?
Well, this is describing one of thousands of different manifestations of these skin organisms. Now, if Joseph has filaments and fibers along with this, well, then it's a variation of Morgellons disease. So if you go back about 2 weeks and listen to the video, I stated that no two people dealing with Morgellons, and of course the only thing that requires it to be Morgellons is the existence of filaments and fibers growing from the skin of various sizes and colors, and they are said to be fluorescent. And some of these filaments and fibers can be microscopic in size, and so the only way you sometimes see them is accumulated in your bedding as lint-like balls or your clothing. So, but aside from that, people have all kinds of things. There's no way, no lab that is available that could ever diagnose or determine what it is. This is not untypical. People have reported to me having barbs. The splinter is something like maybe somebody else would call a barb. Could be one guy said he had them 3/4 of an inch coming out of the skin. Another lady said her barbs were like 3 inches long. Wow, coming out of her skin. And all of them experience excruciating pain as they come through the skin, as they exit. And the way to get a handle on it is to do the program, do the diet, start the diet, the disinfection, get a handle on it. Okay, what's the next question?
The next question is, how do you give this to someone else if you can't physically see? How does it get on someone?
Well, okay, we'll stop right there, because you can catch a virus or a cold from somebody else and you don't see diddles. You don't see it. So these are microscopic organisms that can leap and be carried in air currents or rest on furniture that can be picked up simply by coming in contact. Okay, continue.
Yes. And then he says, should I not be around anyone if I'm not on the diet or just starting it? How long does it take till I can go around someone if I have to stay away from everyone?
Well, this has been a question we've dealt with many times, and each of us, when we are experiencing itching and biting, we are walking, talking, parasite breeding machines, and they are shedding from us. And through either dropping on furniture or dropping in air currents, can be carried to other people. Now, not everybody is impacted by them. We have many families where we have one person who is affected dramatically and everybody else is not affected at all, and they think this one person is loony or crazy or doing drugs. They get accused of doing that. So there's no way of telling whether somebody's susceptible or not. We suspect they're pheromone driven, and we find, we have in our store pheromones to help people become more normal in a sense and less attractive to the organisms. But again, consider yourself contagious as long as you are itching and experiencing biting sensations. If you have minimal crawly feelings, you're most likely not that contagious. I wouldn't be dealing with skin contact at that time in terms of hugging or kissing or making love. With crawling, I would stay away from that. But when you are basically free of crawling, itching, and biting, then you, in my opinion, you're non-contagious. And of course, there are many people who claim that you are never contagious, in spite of itching and biting and crawling, that these organisms cannot be transferred from person to person.
I was in Mexico years ago, and it's where I believe I got this. But I think it came from a parasite that got in my teeth. I can see a long-winded, winded worm in the face and then through all of my teeth. And I get little things that come out of my cavity teeth every day. Is that the parasite I caught in Mexico, or is it Morgellons?
Well, again, Morgellons is filaments and fibers. So whatever it is, it's a cofactor, not Morgellons. It's a cofactor of Morgellons. And the organism that she was infected with in Mexico may have been the carrier that brought Morgellons along with it. And again, that would go back to the program we did about 2 weeks ago on what is Morgellons when we discussed cofactors. So it's important to deal with a cofactor. This is where you'd want to use our mouthwash and cleanse. This is where you definitely want to get on the diet. This is where you want to look at the protocol that we have overall in disinfection and cleaning them out of your body with things like fenbendazole and building health and immune functioning. Okay, continue.
She says, I can see the imprint through my face, my cheeks and my chin and my nose. I get lesions that are hard to go away where the hard piece is trying to come out. I see ridges in my gums, but it is long and it's throughout my face. And that's it. Did I see?
Yes, she's a walking, talking, breathing machine until she makes the diet work and looks at things like fenbendazole to add that to her regime.
Yeah, and she just goes on to ask again where it came from, and that was Celeste.
Yeah, okay.
The next one is from Eleanor, and she says, I was wondering if there was anywhere that it is possible to find out the life cycle of this new invisible type of Collembola, which I am sure that I have if my lower legs are being constantly attacked.
Well, the fact that her lower legs are being constantly attacked indicates that it is a form of Collembola. There are 6,000 species. I am unaware of anybody announcing a new species that, we already have enough. So, like I mentioned before, there are about 19 species that are known to be an impact, and some of them are maybe more resistant to deal with than others. So we don't have to identify the species. That's irrelevant, unnecessary thing to do. What's important to do is do the diet, do the disinfecting, clean your skin, and build health and immune functioning.
She goes on to say, my hair gets infested and I feel something invisible fly out of it, but I'm unsure if that's part of the breeding cycle. Is it possible to catch one? I also received small bites with visible marks.
Well, this infers that she may be dealing with some kind of mite that is living and breathing in her skin as well, in which case then she'd want to also look into nitemperam by adding it. And I think she'd probably do well by adding also lufenuron, because as I'm learning, lufenuron is not only beneficial in dealing with fungal organisms, but also it works along with fenbendazole in dealing with nematodes as well.
She goes on to say, we have bought electrostatic sprayers and used them with Clean Green enzyme cleaner, which is available in England. They have immediately jammed up with bubbles. We have tried ammonia with no result, and an ozone generator, again with nothing positive.
Well, again, I can't speak to the type of electrostatic sprayer or Clean Green that she's using. The sprayer that we've been using is the Ryobi, which has been, they don't seem to last forever, but we haven't gotten a lot of complaints. One lady did write me and asked me that she found an inexpensive one, like for $89 on Amazon, and she asked if that would work. I said, well, try it out. In the meantime, I ordered one to try it out myself because, hey, these electrostatic sprayers, the Victory was like $800 or $900. The one I had for 2 years just stopped working, so it's expired. That's a lot of money. And the bottom line is that the $89 one doesn't do the electrostatic. It has a thing on it that says, okay, you push the button and the light comes on, indicating that it's supposed to be electrostatic, but it's not putting out the electrostatic. Because when you spray the front of a doorknob with an electrostatic sprayer, what you want to do is run your finger in the back of the doorknob. If that doorknob is dry, it's not producing an electrostatic spray. If it's wet, then it's working. So it's an easy way to test. Robin.
I just want to say, if you have a Victory sprayer and it breaks down, even if it's out of warranty, it's worth contacting the company. They're a really great company, and they may have a solution. And the other thing is that never put ammonia in an electrostatic sprayer.
Yeah, she mentioned ammonia, and I wasn't sure if she was talking about using it in the electrostatic sprayer or just spraying it. You never, ever want to put ammonia or...
It'll destroy it.
It'll destroy it. So the safest thing to do is use the Clean 'em Up Enzymes. We have a Benefect disinfectant that is ready to use. You can use it, but you need to shake it up, and after you're done using it, you need to run warm water through it because it does have a sediment, and that sediment, if you're not shaking it up, could become concentrated enough to clog it up. There's also the MetaClean disinfectant we have in the store. That is a concentrate you can dilute, and that has no sediment, and it should work fine too. But you never mix the enzymes and the other disinfectants together, because enzymes are live organisms, and anything that will kill an organism will kill an enzyme.
Right. And the other thing is, even with the enzymes, just like you said, it's always important to rinse out the sprayer using like a glass of hot water and just spraying into your sink. It will never get clogged if you do that.
Right. Good point.
We've been on the diet for over 2 months, but again, no change as of yet. I've been taking the Nintemperam for about a week so far, but no improvement. I will keep trying. Any other ideas would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, Eleanor.
Yes, keep a journal. Because if the diet hasn't kicked in, you're making a mistake. You're having something that you think is okay, but you haven't read the ingredients, or it's not okay for you, so you need to keep a journal. Don't go 2 months without results and not keep a journal. Do not do that. You're wasting your time. You're just feeding the organisms. Do not go 2 months and not get results and not keep a journal. Do not do that. Keep a journal. It just takes a little bit to get out a pad, a notebook, and just jot down what you eat and how you feel. Do it. Okay, you have someone, Chris?
You know, I'm doing good. I don't have any lesions or anything. I'm still kind of dealing with the environmental stuff. And I'm noticing a lot of like these just like black specks, like too, they've come off my skin. Like I've just been really good with like bathing and stuff after like going outside of my apartment, or just like washing hands and everything really good. And like there's like these black specks and they like get stuck to like the porcelain. Sometimes they'll have like a hair on them or something. So if that's something you like are familiar with, I'm just seeing them a little bit more now that it's getting a little warmer out too. Although we did have a snowstorm, but.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess I don't know if you like are familiar with like what those black specks that are like coming off my skin from like from the environment.
You're saying there's something coming off of your skin?
It's like it'll be on my pants or something like from the environment. But it will get stuck in my skin if I don't if I don't get it off me immediately. And it like will stick to like the porcelain in my bathtub and stuff like that. And sometimes it will have like a hair stuck to it.
I'm not. Is it kind of like a biofilm?
I don't know. I'm not sure. No, I mean, it's not like coming from my skin. It's like coming from the environment, but it will dig into my skin. So it's definitely something that's been a cofactor to my Morgellons.
Yeah, something in your environment, and you have no idea where it comes from. You find it in your bathtub. You find it in the rest of your house, wherever you are.
Like not in the apartment, but like I find it from like when I go outside, like in my area, or like on the stairs, or in like the laundry area.
So in the common areas of your apartment complex.
Yeah.
I see. Gosh, I don't know. You just have to be vigilant, I guess, and keep some of the diluted nature's gift with you, and whenever you catch it, spray it and get rid of it.
Yeah.
And do whatever you can to move.
Right. Yeah, I know. I'm still working on that. Definitely coming up soon, but one thing at a time. Right now, it's like keep my diet together, keep my stress levels as low as I can, so that like things don't bother me as much. That way, yeah.
Right.
Let's do this. And I have another question about are baby wipes okay to use like on skin and stuff? To like get stuff like you know, if I'm get something on my hand, get it off, or because I find that sometimes
if they work, they work. You know, I think they're just a big pollution factor, but if they work, they work. And you could always spray. In addition to it, you could spray some Nature's Gift on it to make it more powerful. I saw on there's every Sunday morning there's a program on about going green, and they were at a conference, and some guy has come up with I guess responsible wipes that are made out of just paper that can be easily disintegrated, and they're not going to be a pollution factor to the environment, and you get them dry, and you just add a little bit of solution to them to make them work, to make them wet. So, but yeah, baby wipes. I just don't like the concept of them not being. They just don't deteriorate.
Right.
They're not biodegradable.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel kind of like, I just use them, sometimes like because I have a daughter, so sometimes I'll have a baby wipe and I like get to stay on my hand and I'll use it. But then I noticed that like I'll get like little things kind of on my hand, which is like probably the residue from just the baby wipes. And I don't know. I just kind of was curious if you ever had anybody ask anything about that.
No, I think I mentioned them. They're mentioned in the book, but I don't remember in what context.
Okay.
But as far as your environment, you're just going to have to be diligent and hope you can move as soon as you can. And that brings me to an important point: is that about where you live. It's important to figure out, to determine whether you brought the organisms into your abode, into your home, or whether the organisms came from your home. So if you brought the organisms into your house, as from being infected while you were on vacation, or cutting down a tree in the backyard, or sitting on an airplane seat and you got infected, or at the barber shop and brought them home, and infested your home, now you can get them out of your home. But if your home has a problem where it may have been backed up sewer and it's gotten into the crawl space, and well, you may have a sick home. Or in the case where you are, where the apartment complex seems to be infected, then it's important to figure out about moving, because you got to decide, can I fix the home, or do I need to get a new home? And that's maybe number one step in the plan.
Well, I have to move outside of state anyways, because I realize that I'm not going to be protected here with the judge that I have. So my plan is to move outside of state and get another judge to go back to divorce court. So I'm going to move to Rhode Island. So I'm going to be that's my plan.
Okay, Sarah, we're here to support you. Keep coming back. We love you. And okay, glad you're progressing. Okay, I guess that's it. Anything you'd like to add, Robin?
No.
Mary?
Yeah, I still have one more email.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, this one's from Laura, and she says, I've been using this product, and it says clean ear after, but if not Q-tips, then just wipe with a Kleenex? Question mark.
Yeah, so Laura was on earlier, and this is an email she sent in during the week. And Q-tips can be very dangerous because if you put them in the ear, they could puncture the eardrum if you put them in too far. So I think just about everybody and every professional says stay away from Q-tips and using them in your ear to avoid accident. I mean, even if you're very careful, something may bump your arm and suddenly you've got punctured eardrum, and that's the last thing you want to happen. So you could roll up a piece of Kleenex or something and put that into your ear and help clean your ear, let it drain. You know, I think the best way of cleaning out the ear is if you go to a health food store, they have these earwax candles. Have you ever used an earwax candle, Robin?
I did. It's been a while, but yeah, I agree with you. I think that's probably the best, safest thing.
Yeah, I mean, the doctor, you go to the doctor and the doctor can clean it out, but I mean, who wants to go wait for the doctor and pay for the visit and so forth? You can get these earwax candles for about, I don't know, $3 each. Only problem is that you have to have somebody help you. You can't do it generally by yourself. So the earwax candle is just like it's not a regular candle. It's like a funnel, and it's about maybe 6 or 8 inches long. It has a point that you put into your ear. But what you do is you take an aluminum pie plate. This is one case where you can use an aluminum pie plate. You puncture a hole in the middle that is large enough just for the candle to go through, and you put the pie plate. You put the candle in your ear with a pie plate against your ear. The purpose of the pie plate is as the candle is burning, you light the candle, and as the candle is burning, some of the ashes may fall, and they're going to fall on the pie plate instead of your face. So you let it burn down, and that sucks out. It creates a kind of like a vacuum, and it sucks stuff out of your ear. And so you need somebody that, as the candle burns down to the point where it's finished, to remove it and make sure you don't get burned yourself. So I think that's a good way of cleaning ear. Not that you're going to do it every day, but maybe once every couple of weeks or so until your ears get in good shape. But generally, by using our ear drops, you can put them in and lie on the side of your face so that the eardrops stay in there a while, and then you can let gravity help you drain it out and use a Kleenex or whatever to clean the stuff as it comes out of your ear. Okay, that concludes this portion of the program. I want to thank Robin and Mary and Chris for being my support here, and we'll move into stress management.